Hey guys, George here from the F1 Chronicle, and I'm here to review the 2024 Formula 2 Spanish Grand Prix round at Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. It's been a very eventful weekend in F2 as always, so I'm going to bring you 5 things that we learned from both the sprint and the feature race of this weekend, really. And just so, I mean, it's so hard to sum up everything and put them into 5 things here, but I will do my best. I will go over the main highlights. And the first one really is Victor Martin's 0 to hero to 0 again. He's had an absolutely awful season for the most part, Martin, but despite that, he managed to get an incredible win in the sprint race earlier this weekend. He got off the line really well, took the lead from Kushmani and never really looked back from there. So that was great for him. He probably would have felt, oh yes, my championship challenge is back on potentially, because he is the highest returning driver from last year. But unfortunately for him, it did not work out that way. In the feature race this morning, he had a clash with Dennis Hauger at the start of the race. I don't know really who to blame on this one. There was a lot of tricky incidents this weekend, but the fact remains is that he was out of the race. He was hitting to the gravel, couldn't get out of it. He was beached, he was done. And despite his antics, his points haul yesterday, he's still well down in the championship. He's still like 17th in the championship, whatever he is. So he's well down there, well out of contention, and he needs a miracle, to be honest with you, to even get close to replicating the heights that he had last year. But there's still a long way to go. This is a long F2 season. I gave him a mention there. He started on pole position for the race on Saturday, Kushmani, and while he had a really poor start, he did eventually, climb his way back up to 3rd place by the finish line, and then it eventually became 2nd place because of penalties to Miata, who dropped down the order. But I just want to highlight him because I like him. I think he's a good driver, and he's really showing that he's got a lot of talent. It would have been very, very easy for him just to give up after that poor start, but no, he absolutely drove forward, did a great job, got up to 2nd by the end, but after the penalties. So I'm impressed with him, and he had a decent. He had a decent sprint race, a decent feature race, seeming like he was going to have a decent feature race, until there was a clash with Bortoleto. Now, I'm not going to go into this one too much, but basically, these two are Invicta teammates. They had a bit of civil war with this one. Kushmani was on faster tyres. Bortoleto was ahead, but on slower tyres. Miney was thinking, I can catch Hadjar for 5th here. Bortoleto was like, no, mate, you're going to have to get past me anyway. Asked the team to get past. The team presumably told Bortoleto, but did not do it. Bortoleto didn't do it. They end up clashing on the final lap of the race. And for me, the blame definitely lies in the camp of Bortoleto. He got on the curb, lost control of his car. If he just gave up that position to him, he would have got a better position. But as he was, he damaged his front wing and came back in not as good a position as what he could have done. So there we go. Civil war at Invicta with that. Isaac Hadjar as well. He was really impressive at the start of this feature race, I should say, too. Getting up to 5th place at the start. He started on the soft tyres and climbed 6 positions, and that was key to him getting a P5 in today's race as well for the feature. Paul Aaron, though, he seemed like he was going to be the guy that was going to win today in the feature. He was doing so well, but it just came undone with him throughout the race. He had a poor pit stop, and then he got held up as well, so that put him behind Jak Crawford. He was desperately trying to catch Jak Crawford through the race, but then he ended up going wide at the final corner into the gravel, lost a bunch of positions. He did climb through, though. He did climb through, and I think he got P4 by the finish of today's race. So there is that. So it wasn't too bad of a day for him. I think he's still probably leading the championship after this, but yeah, one mistake, and that really did cost him around Catalonia. And who else can I end this video with other than Juan Manuel Correa? His teammate Jak Crawford won the race today, which is really, really good, but Correa, he was the best driver on the alternative strategy today. I mean, Dirksen, I feel sorry for Dirksen because he looked like he could have done really good today on the alternate strategy, but he ended up retiring with a mechanical failure. Correa, though, he came back and got onto the podium. Fantastic for him. And if you know what Correa has been through with his career, you'll know how impressive this is, what he's come back from, the injuries he's come back from, to be back in F2 and back as a podium sitter with an incredible alternate strategy. My hat's off to him. I love Correa and I want to see more from him. It's only a matter of time, I think, before he gets his first win back in the series. But yeah, guys, 5 things that we learned from F2 in Catalonia. It was frantic as always. Hope I've covered it there. Anything you want to add, let us know in the comments below. And of course, we'll be back next week to review the action from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. So see you for that one.